Now here we are for part 2 of our 3D modeling for 3D printing tutorial. In this video, we are going to model up the Rook. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new scene. We're going to call this Rook. Then we're going to pop up to our pawn here, and we're going to select the pawn, and we're going to duplicate that by doing Shift D. We're going to create a duplicate of the pawn, move it down into Rook. We're actually going to modify the pawn object we already have instead of creating a whole new thing. Now to get this pawn out of the view, we're just going to hide it like so. Notice it actually disappears. Then select the pawn body and call this Rook body. We no longer need that sphere on top, so we're just going to go down here under modifiers and delete it. Just unselect it. And let's move this over, the reference image over. That way we have the Rook in nice view. Now we're just going to scale this up by hitting S to scale, just like so. Now for me, I want to keep a little bit of a sense of continuity of designs. I want to keep as much of the base as possible between all of them so that they all look about the same, but we still need to modify the design of it a little bit to make it a little bit heftier. So hit Tab to go into here, and let's remove the entire top though, down to here. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go into edit mode, face select, and we're going to select everything we want to get rid of, like so. The other way to do that is to go into front view, press Z to go into X-ray mode, hit B to select all of it, and instead of deleting, we're going to hit F, which essentially creates all of that into a face, which deletes it all the way down to here. That's a little easy trick. All right, we'll scale it up a little bit, and we will make the base of our Rook. Add a crease on the top, like so. There we go. Let's see here. I want this to have a little bit here. This actually flares out a little bit. I kind of like that little detail. It's kind of fun. There. That looks kind of cool. Looks very Rookish. Okay, now we're going to make the top. Hit E to extrude. We're going to scale it out like so. This one may need a little support material. Hit E to extrude like that. That gives us our top of our castle. You notice the end top here has a little bit of an indentation. We're going to hit E to extrude, scale inward, then hit E to extrude and scale down. Nice and simple, right? Now we're going to add the arrow nooks. To do so, we're going to go to Add Mesh Cube. See, it appears right here. There's G, Z, move it up. S to scale, scale it about there. That looks good. Press Tab to go into edit mode maybe. And let's scale it along one axis like so. So it's like that. Maybe scale it up and down a little bit. There we are. How's that look? All right. So we're going to create 2 of these, and we're going to use those to cut into the Rook model. Just take our first one right here. Move that into the Rook here. We're going to call this Rook Top Cut 1. We're going to select our Rook, add modifier Boolean, Rook Top Cut 1, and there we go. It's cut out there. We can actually hide it. Look, nice little groove sliced into the very top of our model. But we need 2 of those. So let's select it, do Control D. Now we're going to rotate it by hitting R and then Z. It's going to rotate, let's rotate along the Z axis like so. Or you just pop over here and hit our rotation to 90. It's a 90-degree rotation. Then we're going to create another Boolean. Have it select the other Rook Top Cut. We'll call that Top Cut 2. When you rename it, it'll actually rename down here for you automatically. 2 difference means it cuts. And then we will hide both of those. And there we go. Nice little cut. You can make this a 3-way cut, a 4-way cut, however you want to do it. You can even get a little creative with the design, however you want. Which I might actually add a little bit more visual flair. See, there's a little bit of a lip there in the bottom. Let's duplicate that in our model. I think that's kind of cool looking. It'll also make it print a little bit easier. So first thing to do is add a little bit of a curve right here. Add a line right there. Crease that. Scale it out maybe a little bit. Put another one there. Scale it out. Crease it. There, just like a little extra detail on the bottom. That's completely optional. You don't have to. And there we go. Now we have a rook. Our rook is finished.